Welcome back to The Working Lunch. I'm Jack Crumley on the Crown Network, and I am joined by a guy that I've known for nigh on 10 years now.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
It's crazy to think about. Mark Borison is the Ambassador of Fun. That's an official title.
I mean, it's official enough, right? It feels we're a place that we're a little loose on the titles, you know.
Oh,
it's
well,
like,
okay.
But I thought that was a great answer.
I thought it was too, and I'm really happy to promote things that way. Mark Borison is the Ambassador of Fun for Jungle Gym's International Market, a landmark staple, a tourist attraction. That attracts people from all over the area, along with folks that just want to do all sorts of grocery shopping and be able to buy. I mean, do you guys make the claim that you can buy literally anything you want?
You know, I don't think we would officially make the claim, but since I'm here, no, I joke all the time on the podcast. Like, the job for me is to just find those items, and I tell people all the time, if there's something you've seen on the internet, you're like, I wonder if that product exists.
Yeah.
Well, if it exists, it's probably at Jungle Gyms.
Yeah, that's so funny now because people are seeing things on the internet, and between AI generative and not to mention just people that want to pretend like something's real. We just got done with April Fool's Day, which
Of
is
course.
the worst when it comes to tricking people into thinking that things exist.
Yeah.
But then they can confirm by going to Jungle Gyms.
Yeah, well, you know, if April Fools used to be a lot more fun when the internet wasn't completely lies all the time.
I know. Well, people fall for whatever, and then it drives me nuts when you see about a product and you think, oh my gosh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'd love to get that, and then you realize that it doesn't exist, and someone was having fun, which is great.
Oh, yeah. I would say 80% of my outreach is usually people who are not super familiar with AI sending me product things like, is this Dr. Pepper shampoo real? And I'm like, no. Would I use it? Probably, but no, it's not real right now, you know?
So, Jungle Gyms, a monster destination, a huge store.
Yeah.
What is it like for this outfit to be a place where people do go on a regular basis just to buy their groceries and then also be a tourist attraction at the same time? Is that a weird balance?
It doesn't seem like a weird balance. It just seems, you know, we just celebrated our 50th year anniversary last year.
Oh, congratulations.
So crazy, right? To think about what an institution. And like the fact that Jungle, and we call him Jungle, he's still in the building.
You're on a first
every
name
day.
basis.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. When I went to do the interview, I just remember they're like, we're going to Jungle's office. I was like, is that what we call him? And then once I met him for real, I was like, oh, it all made sense. So to answer your question, I think the balance is easy because we have such a unique leader at the head of all of this. You know, when the captain of the ship is making wild, look, he's the type of guy who's like, what if I built you a studio in the entrance of a grocery store? No one's ever had that thought. So I think having someone with such a unique perspective on things really made it easy for it to not be, you know, I would assume in a lot of other businesses, the way it is viewed would be odd. But I think here it's just kind of how it is. And I don't want that to sound like we take that for granted.
Yeah, sure.
But it's just, we're led by somebody unique. He hires unique people. And that's kind of our MO overall. So to me, it feels so just natural.
Yeah. Well, and you're in a unique position too, because you've sort of, to a certain extent, become the face of Jungle Gyms. I've seen your face on television doing ads for the store. You're doing all sorts of social media and stuff.
Yeah.
What's that like, finding a balance with what Jim himself positioned himself as this place was taken off?
You know, I think when I got there, he was looking, I think in his words, he's like, I'm looking for a crazy person.
Okay.
And then we met, and obviously we hit it off. He's the only other adult in my life with a costume closet. So we had a lot of mutual respect very early on.
That's so funny.
And, you know, it's fun because we still like to bring him in. But the thing is, I mean, you know, it might be hard for some people to believe, you know, a guy in his 70s, he is out there killing it and still running things every day. I mean, the guy's in the store more than I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is it's inspiring to me, first and foremost. But it's fun that I get, you know, I look at my job, you know, I love them. Don't get me wrong. I have an ego, so like hearing, oh, you're the face of this cool brand. Yeah, that's awesome. But to me, I don't really see it as much that way because I just think Jungle left these huge footprints, and I'm just trying to fill a little of that in the meantime any way I can, right? Because to me, it's like, how do we get the word out there? How do we spread this? And I love doing it. You know, don't get me wrong, but it's that thing where it's, yeah, you'll see him pop up in a couple more ads this year. We've been cooking a couple of ideas. So
Okay.
I love that he's still down for it, but the guy's just busy all the time. So, you know, it's nice, I'm sure, for him to have someone that's like, oh, Mark will go do the interviews or Mark will do the ads, you know? It's great.
Yeah, you're helping carry some of the weight.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do it.
Because if you're saying he's that active and involved, and that's at 2 locations, you got Fairfield and Eastgate.
Yeah. It's crazy to think about. And he's still mostly out of Fairfield, but like, you know, and I can't imagine, it's got to be incredible. I can't even imagine what it feels like to be him, right? To have built this empire. You know, the thing that always blows me away, and I tell people this all the time when you go in there, but you know, it started as a roadside produce stand.
Right.
And that stand is still in the Fairfield store, and he's just built around it. And I find
you're
that
kidding.
beautiful. Yeah, like when you walk in, it's right near. If you're in Fairfield, it's where like our health and beauty items are. But you walk in, you'll see there's a plaque. It's like the original stand here, and then there's old paintings that his wife Joni did back in the day that they did to advertise the place. So it's really cool to just kind of be amongst that history, you know?
Well, the idea that things started out as that stand and he bought that land there in Fairfield in the 70s. Now, we've talked a lot about how Butler County has really blown up.
Sure.
Just in the last 15 years or so. But that part of town in the 70s, I mean, I know
farmland.
there was some discussion about like zoning issues, but like that wasn't an epicenter of people to be in.
No, and now it's fun to see it grow. I don't think they would ever say this. So I'm saying this as Mark Borison, the Jungle Gyms fan, not the employee. But to me, Fairfield doesn't really exist the way we see it now without Jungle. You know?
For sure.
I mean, it's like he built a town around this crazy business, and now look at it. You know, I mean, you mentioned earlier, people drive from all over. Most days, I'll be surprised if somebody drove less than 4 hours, you know, because I'll meet these people who are like, I just drove down from northern New York to come grocery shopping, then we're turning right around and going home kind of thing. There was a lady on TikTok the other day that had a huge viral post that was just, hey, I'm driving 7.5 hours. Like, I just needed to take the break. And she was great. Came down, had a whole thing. It's like, it just, every day, I know we were joking about this off air, but every day I just get there. I'm like, I can't believe this is a real place.
Yeah.
I can't believe I work here, you know?
Yeah.
Waking up in the Matrix.
You've really made an impression with the social media work for Jungle Gyms as a way to get you really have. It's been noticeable. And as a way to get the word out, I feel like so many of the things and so much of the vibe that store has really fits well with videos on TikTok, videos on Instagram that are showing people quirky little fun things. Hey, check out this cool place that if you don't live around here, maybe you've never heard of.
Sure. You know, a couple years ago, we broke 200,000 SKUs in the store. And it's crazy to think about, right? I joked, I was like, oh, I'll experience the heat death of the universe before I try all these items. But I'm trying still. And we had a series that we were doing for a little while on TikTok that was going through all of these. And I had this revelation at that point, because we had been doing the TikTok at that point for like a year or two. You know, when I got to Jungle Gyms, I guess maybe to back up, it's not that we weren't using social media, but we weren't as intense on it as we are now, right? And I think now we've kind of found this groove a little bit. And I think having not an established personality, but like that's my job, right? So it's like, okay, you got a guy to do this. Where was I going with that though? Talking about. Oh my gosh, I completely lost my train of thought.
But we were talking
I'm so
social
excited.
media and
Yes.
promoting products.
Thank you so much. So to me, I was viewing it more as I need to go out there. There's so many items in the store. And, you know, average customer shop time's like 3.5, 4 hours, something like that.
That's so wild.
And think about how overwhelming that could be for somebody that's not from the area, hasn't been there more than once.
Right.
So I kind of look at it like, hey, I can find and help these people effectively parse the data that is Jungle Gyms and go, hey, here's like some products that are somewhat relative to certain genres that are popular on the internet. You know, we recently opened the TikTok department at the Fairfield store.
Okay.
And I guess maybe I can say it here, but we're going to do one at Eastgate as well.
Awesome.
So that way everyone
That's an
can,
exclusive.
you can all stop it DMing me about it. They're like, when's it coming? I was like, I have no idea, eventually. But, you know, trying to source those little products so that we can find things to say, hey, like, not our customers are clearly adventurous, but I also imagine it's probably overwhelming to try to go through 200,000 items to find new things. So I'm looking at it like, here's a chance to showcase not just, you know, unique international products, but I do a lot of stuff with local vendors, because that kind of a secret sauce to Jungle Gyms, in my opinion, is we take chances on a lot of small businesses, like the small people, you know, because Jungle views it like I was one of them and someone gave me a shot, and that's why I got to build an empire. So why not try these products? And you know, we've helped launch a lot of things that are now, you know, nationwide brands.
That's a tremendous policy.
It's so cool. It was one of those things. That was one, and like the no wasted food thing behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Those both blew my mind, because I wasn't sure. You know, again, when I got here, I'd worked very corporate, still cool hosting jobs, but way more corporate companies. So to get to this place where there's
You didn't get to wear shirts like that on a daily
exactly.
basis.
They probably would have been like, well, maybe reshoot it in a normal shirt. I'm like, all right. And then, no, but just to see these like staunch policies about like, no, we want to do this. We want to support the little person. You know, we want to make sure that none of our food's going to waste, that we're like donating it to shelters, or now we're composting on site. Crazy stuff.
That's incredible.
It's insane. Yeah.
I don't know if this is a naive question or not, but if you're talking about getting products from 70 countries.
Yeah, I think we're almost to 80. But
How does that work with shipping and distribution? I mean, do you run into weird international issues with getting to and from?
I would say depends on the country. What's
Yeah.
kind of cool, and I found, because I got there during COVID, like I met them in 2020 and I didn't really start working until 21.
Yeah.
And I know COVID caused a lot of problems as far as like shipping, importing, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's kind of cool to find out is we have our hands in so many things. Like we have so many distribution lanes. So when COVID happened and everyone was out of stuff, we were able to source it from other people, right? We could be like, oh, hey, well, this one lane doesn't have it, but we can get half of it here, and show up.
Okay.
So it's been pretty cool, and even with like all the tariff stuff going on, it really hasn't hit us bad, which has been awesome.
I was wondering if that was my next question too, was dealing with whatever the cost of things are.
And so, the word everyone was like, we'll see what happens in the future, but so far it really hasn't affected us, which has been great, And another one of those things Jungle's hot on is like, take care of the customer.
Yeah.
Maybe an F-bomb in there too, just to really enforce the point. But I mean, he's right. And
Well, he's from Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, for sure, exactly.
It's so funny. I'm from that area, and the name Bonominio is pretty well synonymous with Lorain, Ohio. And
Of course,
It's a very small world that we all live in, and this is Cincinnati, so we definitely know the small world that we're living in. Mark, I have a million other questions about Jungle Gyms, but
Sure.
Also there's the event center. I was lucky enough.
Oh, yeah.
One of my very dear friends got married at Jungle Gyms last year.
Yeah, which is a crazy sentence to anyone that's ever been there.
Which is a wild thing to say out
Yeah.
loud, and it didn't happen in the soup aisle or anything like that. It was, you guys have a whole event.
For the right price.
I'm not saying it can't happen, but in this case it didn't. The event center is an incredible thing. How much of the business are you involved in with that?
I try to get as involved as possible. Now, we have like a really expert team that runs everything there, but what's kind of cool about the place is, it depends on who you're friendly with, I guess is silly.
Okay.
And that sounds bad if I say that. I don't mean it that way, but like I get along very well with the event center team.
Okay,
so whenever
sure.
we're trying to cook up ideas, they're very kind to invite me to be a part of it, which is so much fun.
That's really cool.
And then they bring me in to MC them. Like we just did, you mentioned before, we did our Big Cheese Festival. That was the first time we've done that since 2019.
That's awesome.
Big hit. We've got our International Hot Sauce Festival going on there up in, I think that's the end of July. So
Perfect
yeah,
time
all
of
kinds
year
of stuff.
for it.
Right, Beer Fest in June.
Tons of stuff going on. Jungle
much.
Gyms, too much. A world of things going on at Jungle Gyms. But Mark Borison also has a world of resume in his back pocket. With again, I've known you for a long time, and I want to talk to you about your career and sort of turning into this in-house creative and your film work and all that. And we'll have more on that coming up. You're watching The Working Lunch here on The Crown. Hi, welcome back to The Working Lunch. I'm Jack Crumley. We're on the Crown Network, and we're talking with Mark Borison, the ambassador of fun for Jungle Gyms International Market. We talked about your work with Jungle Gyms and all the promotional work that you've been doing with the podcast and everything else, but you yourself have been working in this town for a number of years as a filmmaker.
Too long.
Well, not yet. You're
I'm saying
along.
jest.
Filmmaker, actor. What has your creative? How has it been for you as a creative working professionally in the city?
Honestly, surprisingly great. Realistically, I mean, I've lived here a long time, but not from here originally. And growing up a little bit on the East Coast, I remember thinking like none of these dreams were possible unless I was in New York or Los Angeles. And so I feel like a long time I just meant I gotta go somewhere to try the next thing. And what's been so beautiful about my Cincinnati experience is every time I get to that point where I'm like, all right, I've hit what feels like a peak. I need to go try a bigger market and see what's up. Some cool opportunity will come my way, and it'll be that thing where it just feels serendipitous, for lack of a better descriptor. And I end up saying, Jungle Gyms being the most recent one. That was a funny connection there, as I had just led a campaign for Pepsi in the NFL, and we got connected through, I think, a mutual friend there, or at least one of my friends, and ended up, pitching the show and going from there. So it was kind of a crazy experience. And then I was like, do this creative gig. Now I'm like, why would I leave?
What brought you to Cincinnati in the first place?
My dad's job.
Gotcha.
So I was just moved with the family. So he was like a commercial real estate guy, and when Federated Department Stores was still Federated Department Stores, he was their guy. And then eventually he left once my parents split. But Yeah, no, it's been, I mean, I've enjoyed being here, especially these days. Like the food scene's incredible, the art's incredible. I mean, again, there's opportunities for everything. We were just talking, I just booked a big nationwide commercial and I shot it on a weekend up near Mason. You know what I mean? Like that's awesome to me.
Well, and we've got, in terms of your filmmaking work,
Ooh!
I first came to know your work through a little short film, there it is.
Oh, yes.
Called Chilluminati.
Yes.
Which was a submission into the very first Independent Film Festival in 2018.
Yeah.
That's how I met you. Tell people about Chilluminati.
So when I first moved to Cincinnati, I thought it was very weird that there was what I've lovingly referred to as a chili-based economy here. And I was just like, it's fascinating to me that there are these two chain restaurants that compete solely with each other as far as, you know, obviously there's the mom and pop places too. I don't want to belittle them. But I was like, you're telling me there's one blue chili brand and one red chili brand? And I was like, this is BS. There's just got to be one Greek guy at the top of this that invented the recipe.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, the family split off. And so for years, I would joke with my friends, you know, that were natives here. I'm like, oh, the chili mafia. You know what I mean? All this thing. I was like, be careful. And don't get me wrong, I adopted Cincinnati chili.
Sure.
Like it's one of my own.
It's big business in this town. You're right.
It
is
is.
a
I need to be a
chili-based
part
economy.
of it.
That's really good.
But I do love it. And then it all came to fruition when this came out of one of the 48-hour film projects.
Okay.
Because that was just one of those ones where I think me and my team at the time were all just, a couple of us worked together and we were all just a little depressed and we're like, we need to make a passion project. So I kind of signed us up unknowingly for 48.
Which, for those of you that don't know, the 48-hour film project is exactly what it sounds. It's a group of people can sign up, you pay to join, and then you have 2 days to write and shoot and edit and put all together. And then there's certain little themes you have to pepper in.
Exactly.
But
you'll be assigned those.
Yeah.
And that was how Chilluminati came to be because we got hit with, the two genres we got were romance and it was like thriller or conspiracy.
Okay.
And I just had that moment we're sitting in the event and one of our creators with us, I just remember us looking at each other like, oh, the chili mafia. And then that night, Chilluminati came to us as a name. We're like, oh my God, how is that not a thing? And then sat up till 6 a.m. writing the script and then shot all day Saturday and edited Sunday. It was great. It was a really, really cool experience. 48 is grueling.
Yeah.
You know, and it was really necessary to me to make something that way because it was kind of like a proof of concept because I hadn't really made anything like that since high school. You know, all of my other stuff had been so like, let's make corporate video work. Let's do all these kinds of things.
Well, those are paying gigs.
Right, exactly. I was like, I really love not living on the street. So it was like important to me to focus on that. And then, but to have this and be like, oh, I can also be successful in a creative space, something that I hadn't really tried since I was a musician, you know? And it was great. So now I don't think I'd ever do a 48-hour again, not for any other reason than that. I'm like, no, we can take our time on this.
Yeah, right. We don't need to rush.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was grueling.
Did you take Chilluminati on the festival circuit?
I did a couple. I didn't get into a lot of them, and I kind of expected that too because I was like, it's pretty regional. So I was like, I played a couple Ohio festivals.
That's true.
Yeah, and then after that, I was like, I remember trying to get into a couple, and I remember there was this one in LA where one of the guys was like, I fought for you because I'm from Cincinnati. He's like, but no one else got this. I was like, it's fine. You know, to me, it was like, I really consciously, when we were writing it, outside of like the first page of the script where I was like, can I establish all of the rules? Right. After that, I was just like, hopefully just the conspiracy angle of this and the ridiculousness of two local businesses being in charge, you know, I was hoping that would stick, but yeah. Never.
That's a shame.
Yeah. One day, that's what I keep telling myself. Every so often, I'm like, we should rerun it, you know?
So you did Chilluminati and written and produced a couple of other shorts in your life, but I'm also a working actor.
Yeah, that's probably the most fun gig, right?
Yeah, I remember seeing you in commercials doing lottery ads a couple of Christmases ago.
Those are always fun. I love working with like Ohio and Kentucky Lottery. They're like really, really fun to work with. The budget's good, so I love that too. But no, more than anything, you know, most sets are awesome, right? You know, and like especially, I mean, seriously, especially today. And it's fun to see how more relaxed things are and how much happier. You know, if you go back to the stuff I was shooting like 15 years ago, a lot more tension on set, a lot of like, I don't know what it was, you know, because I wasn't working that side of production, but you would just, there's like kind of a, you know, tensity going on there, or some tension rather, tensity. Jeez,
it's okay.
God, that's recorded.
This is live. You're
I'm
fine.
inventing words today, Jack.
All words are made up.
But yeah, no, thank you. I needed to hear that too. No, but all kidding aside, it's fun to see how everything's like gotten more relaxed. And like I said, I mean, now we're just shooting random things in Ohio all the time. But yeah, the lottery companies, they were great. And they were really open-minded. On one of the Christmas ads, I remember we pitched an action shot for the end. And they were kind of like, I don't know about this. And I'm like, just pull a mattress out, man. Like, I'll fall on the floor, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just me and one
We're
of the
not
other
asking
actors.
for wire work here.
No, for sure. I was like, I think this will be funnier than a static shot of the card on the table. I was like, get that. But also let me try dive through this table. And they totally let me do it. It was great.
That's really good. So, but in terms of being a working
Yeah,
actor
I'm so
and
sorry.
finding gigs, no,
Yeah.
you're fine. Finding, obviously living here and being able to do Ohio lottery or Kentucky
Yeah.
lottery stuff makes sense. But I mean, you just told me before that you're in an ad for H&R Block
Yeah, we
that's
did
running.
I'm so sorry to cut you off. Yeah, we did a whole series. Now.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking nationwide work. You're finding big jobs by living here.
Yeah, which is insane to me. And it was one of those things, again, growing up, I never thought that was really possible. And a lot of people kind of beat that in your head a little bit, where they're like, you're in Cincinnati, man. Like, maybe
Right.
lower your goals. I'm like, no, I'm just going to be less friendly with you now, you know,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Well, what is it like to try to find? I mean, is it just websites, casting calls?
A little bit of everything, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like casting sites. I had for a long time worked with an agent. I'm a free agent now, so if anybody's looking for me. And I've just been trying to find the right place. I got really lucky with my first talent agency because this is one of those people, and unfortunately he passed away, but he was like one of those people I could trust to tell me when I'm terrible.
Cool.
In a way that, if I send my auditions to my mom, she'd be like, you did great. And I'm like, thanks, Mom, I appreciate the support. I kind of need someone to tell me I was
But-
awful. Tell me why that sucked. You watch enough Hallmark movies, I know, And no, but he was a great resource for that. So I've been trying. The catch is, I thankfully have a lot of drive and determination to succeed in the things I want to do.
Yeah.
But man, having the agency's backing was great too. But it's trying to find that right relationship where they're like, we also see the value in you, Mark, and we also want to fight for you.
Yeah, that's something everybody's looking for.
Yeah, but we have a lot of great agencies here too. I'm just sort of like, throwing myself in the air. I booked that Fox TV, the Floor last year with Rob Lowe.
Oh, did you
His
really?
game show, and I just booked that through a friend.
Were you a contestant?
Yeah, I represented the state of Kentucky.
Is that how the show works? You're
Well,
representing?
so not always, but that was like a new wrinkle they threw in last year. So they're like, it was 50 states going head to head, and
wow.
they pick your areas of expertise.
You were the
and then
king of Kentucky.
I was, until they let me leave the show with no dollars earned. But we shot it in Ireland, which was cool. And
Oh my gosh.
I got to meet Rob Lowe's dad and his stepmom through Jungle.
Everybody's dream.
They're Ohio people. They're from they're like
yeah.
Dayton adjacent. And they are wonderful people. So again, one of those cool things that's like being part of the Jungle has afforded me too. So you can imagine me getting through all this casting, and the last call right before we leave for Ireland, they're like, is there anything you need to declare? I was like, I was at dinner with Rob Lowe's dad the other night, and they're like, are you being serious? And I was just like, why would I get all the way through this and lie now about this? The thing that definitely feels like would get me kicked off the show.
Right, for sure.
As that got out, because the game shows are crazy.
Like there are a lot of regulations for making sure that people aren't cheating, like the scandal from years ago.
Yeah, exactly. And so they're consistently worried about that. I mean, no cameras on set. They had us mic'd up the whole time.
Yeah.
It was wild. But very funny comparatively. But
So between the filmmaking and being a working actor, now you are essentially an in-house creative for Jungle Gyms.
yeah,
Talk about that game. I mean, it seems like you have a ton of creative freedom.
a ton of it. I mean, when I first started, they were like, view us like a pinball machine. For the most part, you're just bouncing around the board, doing your thing, earning points. And they were like, but we'll be at the bottom in case we think it goes off the rails, and we'll just be the little flippers to bounce you back on track. And I think, thankfully, just having a lot of professional experience already going into this helped. And combined with the fact that they are very open-minded and creatively free in that regard, has given us a lot of room. I mean, so I was kind of joking about this, but my creative partner, Lucky, and I, we pretty much run like an in-house creative agency. So we're cranking out commercials for the store, and I'm talking top to bottom, like writing it, coming up with the ideas, trying to stay on top. And we have some other people we work with as well, but that's our main, yesterday we just sat around, we're like, all right, we have like these 4 ads we want to make over the next couple of weeks, and we're writing the scripts there, shooting them, and then in between all the other things we're navigating too. It's a lot of fun.
Has the store altered its marketing campaign because of the work that you guys are doing? Are they? I've seen more promotion for Jungle Gyms on TV in just the last couple of years than I ever have.
Oh yeah, and I think that was it, because when they opened Eastgate, they did some ads. And I don't know if they weren't successful. It was never one of those questions I was overtly concerned with, because it felt like it was a long enough time between me arriving
Sure,
and the landscape of the internet changing. That was like 2012, right? excuse me. But seeing that change has been dramatic. And so it was really, we just were like, what if we ran YouTube ads? That was kind of how it started about a year ago.
yeah.
And we're like, let's just try something and see what happens. And, you know, I had a lot of experience doing that when I worked for one of Google's partner companies. So it was something I was pretty familiar with. And yeah, I mean, it's been wild just to watch the company go, oh, yeah, we should be making more ads, you know?
That's so great.
Especially because we can produce them in-house, right? So it keeps the budget overall low, so it allows us to put it in more hands, which I think is the ultimate need.
Yeah, shooting it in the store, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. It's a crazy looking place already. I have a crazy wardrobe. Like the whole thing comes together nice,
Yeah,
you know?
it's all fait accompli. Mark Borison is the ambassador of fun for Jungle
that.
Jim's international market. Mark, we are going to be coming back with more. Mark's got some wild stuff for us to eat.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm not nervous about it at all. I'm the normal amount of nervous. And we'll have more on that coming up. You're watching The Working Lunch with Jack Crumley on the Crown Network. Welcome back to The Working Lunch. I'm Jack Crumley. We are on the Crown Network. I am joined by Mark Borison, the ambassador of fun for Jungle Jim's international market. And we are now here with some of the many items, nearly 200,000 SKUs, different products that Jungle Jim's has from 70 different countries. Mark, what have you brought for us today?
I tried to bring a smattering of things that I also would like to try. So I picked a bunch of these actually from our TikTok department. So our TikTok department focuses on things that are popular on TikTok, viral items, and then a lot of just unique new things that we want to introduce to customers to. So we have it laid out. You know, it's funny. I'm realizing now how many items are somewhat sweet leaning.
Okay.
Even though the thing I can smell the most is this bag of dried crabs, which is potentially
It's a delicacy.
It looks like I'm like afraid of these kinds of things. So to me, I'm just seeing a bag of spiders. But I'm excited. I'm excited that you are willing to try.
I'll give it a
Jack.
try. Sure, why
I think
not?
it should be interesting. Maybe we should start with that because I feel like everything
right.
else will be more delicious. You got to hold that up to camera.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little. It's a crab.
Yeah.
We've got a little crab here. I don't know. Oh, that's not the. We're finding
There it
cameras
is, right here.
We're doing great. That's all right. So you just eat it, huh?
Yeah, I'm just double checking. Yeah,
Check
make sure
the instructions.
There's a little. It looks like a little candied because there's some sugar and some soy sauce on the outside of it.
Okay,
So yeah,
well.
go for it.
Well, it's going to be great for the microphone.
I'm sure it is. This is now an ASMR show.
Yeah, you're welcome. I don't know. Yeah, it is a little bit sweet.
Okay. Does it take? Can you taste the crab too? As silly as that sounds?
Not really.
That's funny because they smell incredibly.
It's a little
strong.
bit in there, but it's I mean, it's a snacky. I don't know that I would have it on the reg or ever again, but it's something that people can chew, and I'm doing that right now.
Look, it's one of those things where I'm always like, I'll occasionally use the word weird, and I never mean it in a negative connotation. So I've tried to switch my vocabulary to be unique. But this is definitely a unique item that
Yeah.
I have not found in my house before. But I'm glad that we carry it because someone out there loves this.
At least for sensibilities, at least that I'm bringing to the table, it feels a little more like we're in gag gift territory.
For sure. But then, you'll see these people that get a card of this, and I'm imagining like, all right, this is probably hitting some childhood note that I just didn't experience.
Well, and what do I know about? Yeah, what we don't know what we don't know.
Exactly.
What else we got here?
All right, so let's go down. Now we'll work our way down from the end. So first up, this is egg skin toast. This is another one of those new things I was curious about, but the texture feels great outside the bag, almost like,
Really?
I was thinking, is it going to be like tofu skin or something? But it feels doughy and lovely. This is original flavor, which I was curious to. Is this also hard to open?
I mean, we're figuring it out. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, we're doing fine. Egg skin toast.
Yeah, I might steal a piece of this.
Yeah. Okay. Here, let's. Please, I'll let you.
Wishbone
Boy,
it?
that is a texture. Boy, okay.
Oh, there's a whole thing. Okay, let's just
just
I'll
tear
give
it
you
off. Okay.
I'm curious. It smells good. It smells kind of like a nice little pastry.
Yes, it does. Well, cute. Okay. Yeah, sure. This is all at Jungle Jim's. This is not nothing like seasonal or whatever. This is like
No.
you guys have regularly stocked. This.
Absolutely. Like you may find some different, so watermelon flavored toast, that'll come up next, for example. I know we have that in a couple different flavors, but that was the one that was available yesterday. I mean, the thing, what's crazy is we have so many items, but we have like a few 100,000 people that come to the store every week.
Yeah.
So, stock is sometimes a little hard. And I watch how hard my coworkers are putting stuff out there like feverishly all the time. But, it's hard to beat customer demand. And when something's popular, people go all in.
Yeah, and
This
then
is delicious.
word gets out. No, this is a lot better. I was a little bit off-put by the name and the texture.
It feels like
but-
an omelet. I would say I actually kind of brought it because I thought the name was bad. I was like,
good,
egg
great.
skin toast? That doesn't sound like anything I want.
You said we're doing watermelon.
Yeah, I think you should do the
flavored toast
watermelon
here?
one next, yeah. And so I've seen that in other melon flavors. It seems really popular in Asia.
Look how cute this is.
Yeah.
How about that? Is this? Oh, there's something inside. This is another tear-off situation.
Oh, cool.
I bet this is going to taste a lot like the egg
previous
skin
one.
toast, which is a sentence that I'm trying not to ever say again.
The Crown has blocked those words.
We're not allowed to say that. This tastes like watermelon bread,
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
one
it's-
might imagine.
It's like a sandwich made out of, with watermelon spread
Yeah, the
almost.
filling's nice inside.
Yeah, it's pretty refreshing. I think if I was like warmer, this would feel very refreshing and cooling, you know?
Do you have any knowledge of like something that was too weird for you guys to carry?
No, honestly, I think we're
Yeah.
open. I mean, one of like the unique items I found that was used, I think, in Vietnamese cooking was cow bile.
Wow.
It was just in one of the refrigerators, and I was
Okay.
like, oh, we sell that. We'll sell anything.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
So
we
I've
don't know
never-
what we don't know.
Exactly. And I think Jungle always got really excited by the idea of being able to go, hey, they love this thing. Let's add it to our adventure. you
Yeah,
know?
sure.
And
Yes.
his family's involved with the store too, and they're great too because they're always like, hey, have you ever found this one? You know, his wife turned me on to this great line of, oh gosh, Joni, I think about how much I love these all the time, but they're called Kobiko. They're these little espresso like candies almost from
Okay.
Korea. Wonderful. I'll bring them next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a candy
Just
espresso
like a hard
bean.
candy, yeah, pretty much, yeah. So it's just not even the bean. It's just like imagine it almost like imagine you turned a shot of espresso into like a little hard candy to suck on. It is wonderful. They had a couple different ones. They had ones that at one point it was like chocolate with the espresso sealed inside it.
Oh, wow.
And then that was funny because those got so popular online that we had to put it behind a locked cage because people were trying to steal it all the time.
Of course.
Yeah.
What else?
Crazy.
What's our final
Okay,
boss?
yeah, Final Boss. This is a fun brand. I saw this online for a while. Our candy department brought this in. This is really cool to me. I have a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you can tell this about me, Jack. I've enjoyed a couple of treats in my life. But as I get older, I try to be a little more conscientious of what it is. So this was a cool line to me because Final Boss Sour, it's not a sour candy in the traditional sense. If you look in there, these are all dried fruit. So this is their least sour option. This is sour strawberry
good.
lemonade. So you see, yeah, they're just like little
Oh, yeah.
dried strawberries,
dried strawberries.
with some lemonade goo on it, and I think they're delicious.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I'll salute. Well, it's a little bit sour.
Yeah, and I think there's 4 or 3 more levels higher.
Oh, wow. Yeah, okay.
I'm making the face, but I promise I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, it's fun. So, yeah, it's
That
just,
was good. I brought some Swedish coins. Swedish gummy candy is incredibly popular right now.
Okay. Like
There's
the Swedish fish.
Yeah. So this line, Bon Bon, and then what was the other brand? There's another big one too. Bubs, hugely popular right now. So
Yeah.
like kind of like, again, you've probably tasted something similar to it here stateside, but like there's something I find in the international candy in general where I think one, they use a lot of real sugar instead of corn syrup.
Okay.
So the texture's always a little more pleasing to
Yeah.
me. And then just, natural flavors, that kind of stuff. But I like all the Swedish lines. It's been fun.
What do we got drink-wise
All right,
here?
so drink-wise, I'm really excited about this one. I saw this online forever. I begged for us to get it in, and so when this finally showed up, it was awesome. It's kind of cool to see if you look at the top of the can. So the can is not like a regular soda can here. It actually removes the entire lid. So
wow.
I'll let you peel this baby open because this lemon slice soda has an entire slice of lemon inside the can.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I know, right?
Whoa, okay. And then
You
you
should
just
just pull it back. Oh, I'm so sorry.
got a little fizz going, that's
Yeah.
okay. And then you just peel it back like a tuna can.
Yep, and then you'll see there's that lemon floating on the inside.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if we can
can
easily
we-
hold it to camera,
Let me
but
get that in shot. It's hard. We're spilling liquid here.
yeah, exactly. You might just have to drink it
Yeah, I might
first.
just need to drink it first. All right.
Yeah, there you go. But it's pretty refreshing.
That is a lemon lime soda.
Yeah.
And when you pull the can off, all the cats come into the room because they think it's about to be dinner time.
You still have that camera in my house, don't you? No, I thought that was really good. It's really refreshing. This comes from Korea. And then there's a great little note that I think is funny every time I see the camera. They're like, don't worry, the shape and the color of the lemon may have changed, but it's still completely safe to eat.
That's an interesting disclaimer.
Yeah, I have eaten one out of my, I've had this a couple times. I only ate the lemon once, but I'm here. So I think that worked out
Yeah, so
right.
far, so good.
Yeah.
And
And this last one, I believe, is coconut milk. It's not translated very well, but I just always thought it looked like a billboard. So if you look at the can, I was just like, oh, this just looks like I'm walking through.
Not a great situation when things are written in a language that I don't understand.
Yeah.
And you're saying, I think it's this, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it was like, well, they have the glass of the coconut, and I've like done the Google
Okay,
Translate a
okay.
couple times. But I just thought it was funny they have the fun advertisement lady on there. So if you'd like to give that a whirl too.
It's a busy can.
It really is, and I think it's funny. And normally we only had it in like big multi-packs.
Uh-huh.
So I've never tried it, and then seeing it in the single, I was like, well, I got to bring this for Jack to try. And if he likes it, then we're buying all of it at the store today.
Should we have shaken this up ahead of time?
I gave it a little shake before. I think we should be okay.
Okay, good.
After the first one, I was like, maybe I shook that too much.
Oh, wow. Boy, that is very refreshing.
Yeah.
And I'm not the biggest coconut head in the world.
gonna
That's,
smell we're there in the friendship. I'm sorry, Jack.
yeah, I've known you for a long time. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, that is good.
That is,
I bet
is
ice
really good.
cold, that would be crazy.
I bet it would be,
Yeah.
especially for summertime. Summertime drinks. We'll be talking about a lot of different things
sure.
here on the show. Mark, I really, really appreciate you coming on. And seriously,
my pleasure.
All of your work promoting Jungle Gyms, I think, is really interesting. I think that they were really smart to bring you in. And I think you're doing great work. And
Thanks,
Jungle
Jack.
Gyms, yeah, please, thank you so much.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Jungle Gyms International Market is in Fairfield and in Eastgate. It's one of the staple businesses, one of the tourist destination staple businesses of Cincinnati, and we're lucky to have them. This is The Working Lunch. You're watching The Working Lunch right here on the Crown Network. I'm Jack Crumley. He's Mark Borison. Thank you for joining us.